They tangoed, they torched, and Tampon Tim even rooted for the stock to crash. The left did everything they could to destroy Tesla as a way to stick it to Elon and DOGE. But now they won't have old Elon to kick around anymore. Musk says he's ready to ride off into the sunset after DOGE claims it saved American taxpayers $160 billion and counting.
Starting probably in next month, May, my time allocation to DOGE will drop significantly. I'll have to continue doing it for, I think, probably the remainder of the president's term, just to make sure that the waste and fraud that we stop does not come roaring back. I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla. And now that the major work of establishing the Department of Government Efficiency is done.
But whose dealerships will the left graffiti now that boogeyman Musk is going away? And what electric cars will Walz staffers vandalize and get away with it? And who will arouse Joe Scarborough?
The last thing this guy needs to do right now when he's getting pounded, what has he lost, $150 billion? Like, it is time to go back to your day job.
Elon went with the chainsaw and the drama, and I think ultimately it's reflected in these polling numbers. We're seeing this is just not a popular move.
He is not only like very sinister and has no idea of what he's doing, and people are like, oh no, he absolutely knows because he's the richest man in the world. Like, yes, he knows how to hire smart people, but don't conflate that and believe that he is the genius, because he ain't.
You know, Harold, it seems like the Dems don't achieve anything, and when somebody tries to do something like Elon did, they root against him. You can't be for that, can you? When you see that, like, we're dealing with a problem, which is economic collapse, which is the reason for DOGE. Why would you root against that? Why would you, Harold, root against that?
So it's good to be back with you, and you haven't lost your fastball. I can see the. I'm not rooting. I never root against any great American company or great American business guy. I can disagree with him, and I think those in Congress, Democrat and Republican alike, have disagreed with Mr. Musk. But let's get to the positive. DOGE has been a great effort on the part of the White House to try to help highlight redundancies and highlight inefficiencies in our government, even to highlight ways in which we can think about reimagining agencies to do better things with less money. I've always thought that the real opportunity for anyone that want to look at government efficiencies was to say, we scale what's working, be it tax cuts or spending, we reform what can be fixed, and we scrap what's not working. And they have not done all of that. It appears, at least according to our notes, that according to what Mr. Musk has been able to do with DOGE, they've estimated they're going to save some $150 to $160 billion. We'll see if that's the case, which works out to be about $1,000 per taxpayer. We'll take the savings. Now, I wouldn't blame it all on Dems. I mean, there are reports in newspapers today showing that Mr. Musk had disagreements with one of our old colleagues, Mr. Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, and even the Secretary of Treasury. He and Mr. Besson, apparently, according to press reports, and you can't always believe those things, but according to press reports, they had their differences. I hope the real legacy of this, Greg, is that Mr. Trump will now ask all of his agency heads to bring to him budgets that cut 2 to 4% of spending from what they spent last year, and explain why, and then go before the Congress and do that. That's the process by which this works. So I congratulate him. I think he's leaving for a variety of reasons, not just because Jasmine Crockett said those things, and maybe even because he wants to get back to his company and get his company roaring again like it was over the many, many years before he joined government.
You know, Jesse, this is shocking to politicians because they never know when to leave. You know, Musk understays. He doesn't overstay. You know, you could just ask his baby mamas.
How many?
14.
14 and counting.
I don't know.
It's probably more. So it's the contribution that he made is not how much he saved the taxpayers. It's exposing how much Democrats stole from the taxpayers. It's so easy. It's only 3 steps, Greg. You are a Democrat, you know a Democrat in D.C., and you get them to send you money. That's how it works. And someone got $1 million to clean up a beach. Now, if you get a DEI or DUI or DWI, they will make you clean up the beach for free as part of your community service. Or the beaches that I go to, the local government does it already.
The clothing optional ones.
You've been there?
Yes.
I thought I saw something. I just needed to wear my glasses. And then they also have $1 million that goes to ocean justice. Now, if there was an auditor that came and asked you, what'd you do with the money? What would you say you spent $1 million on ocean justice for? Did Al Sharpton come out to the beach and yell something in a bullhorn to the whale? I don't know, but they stole the money. And that's why Bondi has to get the prosecution referral and put some of these thieves in jail so they don't do it again. He knew it wasn't going to be popular when he did this job. It's like you come in and you're basically telling the whole government to strip naked and have all of these doctors look at every single imperfection.
Yeah.
And then interview your lawyer and your ex-wife and your assistant. It's like a full body cavity search, and then you put it all on X.
Yes.
No one wants that.
No one.
But it had to have happened, Greg, and thank God it did. And for this woman, what do they say? God bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. When
She's
she
saying
says
that about you too, by the way.
he ain't a genius,
Yeah.
I think that says more about her than it does about
Yeah, the only thing she's ever invented is a personality.
That's right. I've seen clips of her from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Something changed.
Something changed. All right. So, Judge, piggybacking on what Jesse said, that he knew it wouldn't be popular, he did all this stuff knowing that it would negatively affect his wealth and his status and his public persona. That's a foreign concept to Democrats and the media. Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, you would only do it if you have a negative intent, corruption, something in the back of your head. I mean, why be a patriot? Why give up your own business and to go and, find out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is in the federal government? Here's a shock. Musk said that he would go as a special government employee within 130 days. And he is, okay? Musk is doing what CEOs do. They set up a company, they get people in place, and then they end up leaving. While the haters like Tampon Tim is saying he's going to take a break from destroying your retirement plan to try to save his own. As someone like Tampon Tim cheers that his own constituents are losing money because their pension plans are invested in Tesla. So, and then you've got Crockett. She thinks she's smarter than Donald Trump. She thinks that the richest man in the world just hired the right people. Oh, if that were only the equation. But what I love about this administration is that they just did what people said they couldn't do. They said they can't get rid of the swamp and drain the swamp. They said they can't get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. They said they can't root out corruption or close the border or make food healthier. Well, they dared and they did it. And so now the question is going to be, who's on deck next? Who's going to be the boogeyman? It's Trump, it's Musk, who's next? But none of this is real. It's all fake.
Dana, last word to you. I find it's kind of disturbing watching how the Dems choose the bad guys and fight the good guys. It's weird they're on the bleachers heckling people who are actually doing something. This isn't virtue signaling. This is actual action.
Like if Elon Musk volunteered to spend 130 days in an El Salvador prison as an MS-13 gang member, they might come and visit him.
Exactly.
And be nice to him. I also wonder, I was thinking about Tim Walz, it was almost as if Elon Musk gave Tim Walz a reason to live. Yeah. And he was out and he did all those interviews. And look at the damage that he did. Not, I think, to his party, but also to a company, an American company, recommending the vandalism, dismissing it. Now he has one of the people that works in his government, an alleged suspect, who is going to be able to just basically walk away without having to pay for that. And I think another thing we haven't mentioned is that I'm still skeptical, and I'll look at the numbers on the money that's saved. I think on some of the things, like you were mentioning, like for example, the Trans Opera in Colombia, obviously nobody needs to be paying for that. But the fact that the government employees were saddled with these old computers and terrible software, that's the kind of efficiency that could pay off in the long run if they were able to fix that.
A trans opera. Is it over when the fat man sings?
Terrible.
Up next, Democrat groupies gather for their next deported star.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.